Okay, Facebook is already transforming something. Transformation is the keyword for now, I believe. Okay, so I think I am here with you, and today is just the live that as usually actually I'm doing this more or less spontaneously, but today it's a completely spontaneous action, so to say, connected with my hairdresser and actually connected with my new hairdresser and with some reflections that I have, deeper reflections that I have about life connected with it. So, hello. If you join me live, of course, give me hashtag live. If you watch later, give me hashtag replay. So good morning or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And well, if you don't know me, my name is Magdalena Baruch. I'm transformational guide and empowerment coach, and I help women who have abandoned themselves to heal the past, to reclaim their power, and to unleash their inner lioness so that they can create lives, relationships, and careers in which they um, feel empowered, fulfilled, and centered. And today is about this hairdresser, yeah, because I changed my hairdresser. I was by a new woman, recommended woman, and I am really, really, really satisfied. So this is the color that I like. Maybe for men, this is not so, important, the shade of our color, but I believe that for many women, we have our particular shades in which we feel really powerful, good, and just ourselves. And we also have the colors which sort of don't match our personality or preferences. But this life is not about colors. This life is about something much, much more, much deeper and much more important. Because I was going to one guy, my hairdresser before, and it was also a person recommended by somebody. Mm, and I couldn't say I was not happy with his services. I was quite happy, but he didn't listen exactly to what I wanted. And he had sort of his agenda, and he was always trying to enforce his way of thinking and his agenda on me. And I have such personality that I really don't like somebody enforcing something on me. And what I would like to talk about today is that very often in our lives, I'm talking about not only my life, but I think maybe this is also your experience, or it has been your experience, that our people want to enforce their agenda. So they want us to conform to their way of thinking, their way of their kind of seeing the world, and um, they want us to, take their religion, inverted commas. And what happens? Very often, for some reasons, we are accepting something that is not ours, and we are actually, in fact, accepting something that we don't feel like accepting. What it can be? It can be the behavior of your partner. Uh, it can be some sexual behavior. It can be some behavior connected not connected with not meeting your needs and expectations and demanding some kind of behavior from you. This can be also at work when you you are forced to do some kind of work which actually you shouldn't be doing at your position or whatever. Mm, so it can be spread on many different areas of our life. But what is important and what is this common denominator? That some people want us to do something that we actually don't feel like doing. And what is the big issue is that we often conform to this. And why? Well, sometimes to have so-called peace and quiet. And I can imagine the situation that there is a family pressure, and you know, it's about you choosing your partner, or you being single, or you having certain age, and the family pressure that, for example, at your age you should all these shoots, you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that. And just to have peace and quiet during these family gatherings, you you say yes to some man and you just get married to somebody you don't really feel like getting married, or you do all sorts of things that your inner voice tells you that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, and you are actually abandoning yourself, you are betraying yourself. If I were to use some stronger words, yeah, you are in fact betraying yourself. Mm, what else I would like to tell you why we are doing this? Probably we are doing this because for so many years, I will refer to this tribal consciousness, we women, we depended on somebody, on our tribe, yes? And for many, many years, and not so long ago, if you were not obedient and if you did not behave certain way, if you did not obey certain rules, you were just ostracized. Yeah, you were just ostracized, you were kicked out of the community, which often could mean that mm, that you even die. So when we look at the history, I quite recently often talk about it, but there was this witch hunting, yeah, and it was not so many years ago, yes. So if you were at that time too curious, if you wanted to learn, if you wanted to do something that the society, the community did not accept, you were just burned at stake. And of course, you tell me that we don't have this situation now anymore, but still a lot of pressure is exerted on women. So instead of really setting these boundaries, yeah, and telling clearly what we want, yeah, what we expect, what we are not available for, we try to sort of please others, or we try to ask for approval, yeah, or we by this in this way we compromise our values. But eventually, if you compromise your values, if you sell your soul and your heart, it will backfire on you. It will backfire and it will finish really badly because, you know, you are again abandoning yourself. And very often, you know that you are doing this, whether this is in relationship, where you know that you don't love this person anymore, and your inner voice tells you to just pack your things and get out of this relationship, but for some reason you are still stuck there, or you are stuck in the job that you know it's not your vibe, that you know it does not expand your genius zone. This is the job in which you feel burnout, in which you feel bored, where your skills and natural talents are not appreciated. So these kinds of situations, yeah. And um, instead of shining our light, instead of showing who we really are and honing this our beautiful talents, we settle for something less, or we start to pretend. And many of my clients, they tell me we pretend, yeah. Sometimes we pretend the women who are always strong and they manage life extremely well. It's quite often the case. Mm, Women don't want to show their weaknesses. Sorry, their weaknesses, their problems. Mm, they don't want to show that something is wrong. They don't want to show that they don't agree with something on the deep level. Yes, very often they wear this mask because they don't want to hurt somebody on one hand, but on the other hand, they don't want to be rejected and criticized and ostracized. Yeah. So still this need to confirm, to be the same, to be accepted, yeah, this need for external validation is very, very strong. But what is the danger when you conform so strong and so long? The danger is that you have so many illusions and other people expectations and opinions put on you. They're like glued, yeah, you know. And when you look in the mirror, you don't see it yourself, yeah, you don't see yourself, and you just see all these other people's perceptions. And what some of my clients sometimes tell me, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. Because it results from this many, many, many years of us women being conditioned, yeah? Because, when we are born, we are beautiful diamonds and geniuses, and we don't question our value, yes? But all this conditioning starts when we start to enter some tribes, yes, some communities. Like even in kindergarten, yeah, children start to um, compare themselves with other kids, yeah. At school, yes, um, at school you receive marks, yeah. So they tell you this is good and this is bad, and very often such institutions like school, actually what they do, instead of teaching us how to think, how to create, how to expand, I would say that they are doing counterproductive job, because they kill all the creativity, they kill all the diversity. um, yeah, I think Einstein said that if the fish were judged by its ability to climb the trees, the fish all their life would think that it is stupid. And this is what actually the school does with with kids, with teenagers, yeah, instead of develop the strongest points, we have to sort of, we are put in the box, yeah, we are put in the box and we have to fit the box. So these boxes start in kindergarten, then you have boxes at school, then very often you have boxes when you work in some corporate, and places like that. Because again, where the creativity is not awarded, just uh, just its opposite, yeah. If you have your own opinion, yes, if you want to present some creative solution, this is not the place to, because there are some structures, there are some rules, some principles, stupid more or less, but you have to obey. Again, there's all this idea that we have to obey and we have to accept something that is not ours. But now what I observe generally, um, you know, we have, collectively speaking, we have the change of era. Yes, we have this era of Pisces, and this was the time that we were controlled a lot, and we were used to being controlled. But now the new time is coming. Yes, the new time has come actually, and this is the era of um, Aquarius. Yeah, and in this time, Aquarius, this is such a big, 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 strong drive to pursue your authenticity, to pursue your need to express yourself. Yes, um, and when we think about Age of Pisces compared with the time now, the something is being played. Just a second. Some music is being played. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah. So, we are put in these boxes. Yeah, we are put in these boxes, and we have to comply to so many structures. And as I said, in Age of Aquarius, we will have this drive, this huge, 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 very strong drive to be authentic and to really express ourselves. Because in some structures and boxes, we feel less and less comfortable. Well, comfortable. I don't even know if the word comfortable is appropriate here, but we feel trapped. We start to feel trapped. And with this collective energies now changing, it will be more and more difficult for you to wear this mask and to pretend, because your need to express yourself, to be authentic, to be yourself finally will be growing within you. And I'm working now with clients who really have this need, and they say, finally, I want to get out of my box. I want to be able to speak up my truth. I want to be able to to talk easily and without guilt and shame about my emotions, about my needs, and about my expectations. Because so many years we were, told as women that we shouldn't really talk about it, that we should keep our mouth shut. Yeah. Um, I don't remember exactly this proverb, but it was like, girls should be looked at and not talked. Well, I must check it, yeah, but it was something like that, yeah. That women and the kids don't have the voice or something like that. It was the idea. So in these times, we, after this many, many years of conditioning, we must learn, and sometimes learn for the first time, what does it mean to be yourself. Sometimes it's the situation that you are rediscovering that because you had it before when you were small. Remember that we are like sponges up to 70 years and we are kind of hypnotized. Yes. So whatever you hear from your parents, from your caretakers, you are taking unconditionally and you accept it as face value. So now what we have to do is actually, I think, unlearn a lot of things that we have learned and remove a lot of bullshit and a lot of garbage and a lot of illusions that have accumulated around our identity, yeah, and discover our identity again. And coming back to my hairdresser, this is just one example. This is just one example that gave me some inspiration for this live today to share it with you. Because you must understand that this is the time now. This is the time to stand up for ourselves, yeah? This is the time when we, each of us, we as individuals, we will be taking radical responsibility for our life. And of course, you know, we have the free will. This is something that, yeah, each of us has got, yeah? Because of course, you may not have enough courage. You may have a lot of limiting beliefs, and probably you have because we all do, depending how many we can have now, yes, depending on our growth. But each of us has limiting beliefs, new level, new devil. Each of us is learning. Each of us is on some path. We are women in transition. But okay, you can say that I'm too afraid to change my life. You can tell yourself this bullshit. I'm too old. I can't. Blah 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 blah. But my question to you is like, when you don't change, when you are not satisfied with your life because you know that you have abandoned yourself, either in your relationships or in your job or in your business, you are diminishing yourself. You are not in alignment with your values, with your soul. If you keep doing that, and you know, because okay, if you don't know, all right, unconscious, you are unconscious baby in the woods. But if you know that you are meant for more, if you know that you are now betraying yourself, if you know that you are doing something against yourself and you are sabotaging yourself, I'm sorry, but you are guilty. And you are taking the responsibility for your fucked up life and for the life that you feel dissatisfied. And yeah, I know we can of course say that we live in such country. I would prefer to live in a different country too, truth to tell, yes. But at this moment I am here, yes, and in my vision I'm somewhere else already. But I think that what is very, very important on everyday basis is when you take the decision and tell to yourself that, well, I know something is not working in my life. And I know this is partly my responsibility because I have created this. And I know what results I have. And remember that if you keep doing the same, again, Einstein, I don't know why, but if you keep doing the same, don't expect different results, he said. Yeah, it seems obvious, but so many people forget about it, yeah? So my question is, if you feel now stuck, if you feel now uh, frustrated, if you don't change anything next year, maybe next half of the year, next 2 years, answer yourself the question, how will your life look like? Where will you be? What will you be thinking about yourself, about the world, about your possibilities? And I think that the longer we are sitting in this situation, this is called, some people call it comfort zone, as I told you, I call it shitty zone. The longer you sit there, the, the deeper your roots get in this place, and the more difficult then is to get out. And of course, as I say, we always have choices, yeah? We are conscious people and we are taking responsibility of our life, and we are actually creators of our life, yeah? And is this change going to be easy? It might not be, it may not be. Because if you decide to shift, if you decide to quantum leap, if you decide to change your life massively, you will be entering the unknown. But remember that unknown means also miracles, quantum synchronicities, people appearing in your life, new people, new projects, new partners, new men, new significant others. The world is abundant of all that. Look at nature. But if you are glued to your old story, if you're anchored, and we are anchored in our old beliefs, yeah, limiting beliefs, that you keep saying that I am too old, I am too fat, I am too weak, I cannot afford, I don't have time, I don't know how to do it, it will never happen. If you keep telling this to yourself and you keep abandoning yourself on a regular basis by confirming to some opinions, some people's behavior that you don't want to do, you are just losing yourself. And you forget completely, or even you don't remember who you are at the soul level. Always when I work with my clients, I'm inviting them to go much deeper. Who are you at the soul level? If you get rid of all these illusions, what will stay? What would you choose? If you don't like your life now, if you don't like your relationship now, what would you choose instead? How would it taste? Wouldn't it add some juice into your life? Because so many people just fall into this mediocrity. And we have this false belief that if we follow the other people, if we ask for permission, if we beg for acceptance, yeah, we will be liked, we will be, pampered, we will be loved. Well, not necessarily. The same way we can be ridiculed, we may be rejected, and just the difference is that we will be rejected by ourselves as well. So this is basically my rant today for you, such a spontaneous rant. But just summing up, remember that you matter. You matter and your life matters. And you have probably far bigger influence on your life that you can imagine that you have. And this is the question of choice.